Technology is becoming more and more popular in society. The opportunities that it offers are growing. Because of this, it is important for us to get students involved in technology because it is all around us. One way that technology is being used in schools is through interactive touchscreens. Touchscreens allow children with small hands and fine motor skills an easier alternative to computer use. Touchscreens offer hands-on and engaging work rather than the single click of the mouse. Touchscreens offer interactive learning through games, diagrams, apps, and so much more. iPads in particular require students to use problem-solving skills to figure out how certain things work through individual learning. Smartboards aid teachers in engaging students in the lessons and what they are learning. A smartboard is basically a virtual whiteboard. The computer screen is projected onto the board, and then it can be controlled from the board as well as the computer. They can be transportable or mounted on the wall. The smartboard appeals to visual, spatial, auditory, and kinesthetic types of learning. This makes it very useful for younger ages because they build knowledge better when they are given the opportunity to interact with their environment. The smartboard is also very exciting for younger kids because it often offers them the opportunity to demonstrate a skill to the class, thus boosting their self-esteem. I suppose it could lower their self-esteem if they get nervous or do it wrong. However, once kids see their friends try, they want to try as well. iPads are tablets that offer more independent work for students. These apps are featured for education. The first one is called Arthur's Story. Right there. It reads the story and highlights the words as it goes so the student can follow along. The second one is called Kindergarten Teach Me. This one right here. It has works on different skills, like this picture here of math skills. It goes through a series of problems, and then at the end the teacher can view the results. Contain apps for just about anything you can think of. Those were just two examples of educational apps that can be used. A common phrase that people use is that there's an app for that. This goes to show that there really are apps for just about everything. Apple TV offers use of the smartboard through the iPad, thus connecting two interactive touch screens at once. The iPad can easily be used to focus on an individual skill that a student needs to improve on. The student can work on this by himself or herself and still remain engaged through the use of a game or fun activity offered by an app. iPads offer students the opportunity to work at their own level. In a class setting, students are being taught things on the same level. If a student struggles with something, the iPad can give them more practice and still allow the class to continue. A big part of incorporating interactive touchscreen technology into the classroom is the necessary training for the teacher. Teachers are often not given the adequate amount of training needed to use the technology effectively in the classroom. In my opinion, this defeats the purpose of having the technology. It is important to train teachers so that they feel comfortable using the technology, and then as a result, they will hopefully be more motivated to use it. On the contrary, some teachers may not like the technology and thus do their best to avoid using it. I don't mean to stereotype, but this quite often tends to be the older generation of teachers. They believe that what they have been doing works just fine without technology, so why complicate things? It is easy to see where they are coming from. However, they are raising the next generation, and technology is only going to continue growing. This is a video of a teacher that uses iPads in his classroom. One thing he talks about in the video is that kids don't view the iPad as learning. They enjoy using the iPads because they are easy and fun. It is easy to see that this is true in the video. Let's watch it.
Today we live in a world where technology is everywhere. It's basically at your fingertips. Everywhere you go, you're that much closer to the answer. And with technology becoming more and more prominent in our society, it needs to be in the schools. Being able to use the iPad while teaching really helps me keep the kids up to date with what's going on in the world and how they're using technology on a daily basis, because everywhere we go, there's technology, and they have it right here at their fingertips. One of the funny things that I've found over the last year and a half of using the iPad in the classroom is that the kids get so involved they don't really realize they are learning as much as they're learning, and they just are just doing. And because everything is such an easy process, they're not stopped by, there's no roadblocks for them, and so they'll immediately get involved in something way further than you would have thought they would, and they don't realize they're not only learning, but they're kind of enjoying doing it as well. And that's just been a really neat thing to watch them grow and do things without really having to work at it or look at it as if it's work, because I think that changes their perception. When they believe they have to do something, or they don't understand why they need to do something, their tendency to want to do it is much lower. And with the iPads, they tend to just take right to them, and whatever it is we're doing with them, they just run with it. One of my favorite things to do in the morning is to put a QR code up on the smartboard. And when the students come in, they know immediately to go get an iPad, to pick it up, open up the QR scanner, and scan it. And the QR code is basically a quick response. It's a quick way to get information. And instead of me putting the sentence on the board and the kids come to the car and copy, they can immediately pick up an iPad, scan it, and it will tell them what I want them to do. And I think that's been one of the more rewarding or one of the neater things about the iPad in the classroom is how limitless it is. All right, next word, screen. About the iPads and the iPods is that there's virtually no learning curve. The kids usually can come in and pick them up, and right away they're able to use them, and not just use them, but to be effective with them. The challenge I have is getting out of the way and letting them show me what they can do, because they can do so much more than what I ever thought they could do.
Another example of interactive touchscreen use in the classroom is the Write About This app. A local first grade teacher uses the Write About app in her classroom. This app allows students to choose or import a picture and then write a short story about the picture. Kristen Mulder says that this part of the app isn't transformational to the students' learning, but what is transformational is the way that the students hand in their assignments. The teacher uses the email option to have students submit their writings, and the teacher has the students email a copy of the writing to their parents as well. These are first graders who are learning the basics of email and the ability to share their thoughts with someone outside of the classroom. She says that this is the transformational part of technology, reaching beyond our school walls. I believe what Kristen Mulder says is so true. Technology is transforming our world. It is all around us, and the opportunities it is offering are growing substantially. Therefore, it is our responsibility to use our technological tools to deepen the students' understanding of the educational value of technology. Technology, like interactive touchscreens, offer an awesome opportunity to make education exciting and make learning come alive for students. Not using technology in the classroom would be a disservice to students because it is a prevalent piece of our culture and of their future. Thanks for listening.